In association with RM. Exciting learning.
The Hadley Learning Community is a £60 million PFI development in Telford, Shropshire. An extended school with integrated primary and secondary phases. It's a cutting-edge facility designed to be the school of tomorrow, today. The Hadley Learning Community, the HLC, is both a showpiece and a blueprint for the extended schools idea and for building schools for the future. Built by Interserve, it's got more than 700 rooms, and just 1 year into the build, the secondary school is nearly finished. With many classrooms bigger than the DFES guidelines, their equipment and acoustics provide a perfect learning environment.
You're looking for that spark, which is saying that, you know, this person's going to be something special when we're in a classroom, but it's always a gamble.
I made the deliberate decision right at the onset of this process that I would appoint every single member of staff.
Being a 50-year-old PE teacher who wants to employ somebody who's 50 when they can employ somebody who's 27.
Swanky classrooms are only as good as the teachers and students who use them. The principal of the HLC has spent the last 12 months recruiting a workforce intended to deliver on the promise that underpins this learning community.
I want the children to be happy there, and I want them to enjoy it, and I want them to be positive about the place. And, you know, I won't get too many chances at getting that right. You know, their expectations on day one will be massive because we'll have built them up to that, and we've got to deliver.
At a staff visioning conference in May, Jill set out to motivate the new workforce.
It really isn't about the building, even though it's going to be a splendid place to work and a fantastic environment for the children. It is actually about us and them, the children, and the atmosphere and the ethos that we're going to create within our organisation.
The HLC is taking pupils from 3 closing schools. Hadley Infant School and Hadley Junior School are on the edge of the site, and their children will form the first primary intake in January. The buildings will be demolished when the children move across to the new school. Alton Park Secondary School closed last July, and whilst its students form the lion's share of the secondary intake, not all staff will transfer because closing the schools means that there's a free hand when appointing more than 100 new staff. Jill Eatuff and her head of secondary, Paul Topping, shortlist.
The applications split themselves almost entirely into people who've been teaching all their lives and people who are straight out of university.
She looks good.
She's obviously very experienced. NQ2, NQ2.
Make sure we've got someone with a degree in music.
Yeah. No,
I quite like arrogant people because I'm arrogant myself. No, that's a good reason to say no.
They're all the no-hopers. Very experienced.
Oh my God. He's going to take a pay cut then to come to us. Where's he then? Quite interesting application. Apart from the fact he can't spell Hadley.
We could call all 7, and one of them's bound to pull out.
When are we doing this?
Next Monday.
I made the deliberate decision right at the onset of this process that I would appoint every single member of staff, teaching and support staff, for the opening. So I've interviewed every teacher that I've appointed. But I actually feel only by that interview process can people understand where I'm coming from, and I can see how they can fit into the structure and what strengths that they can bring and people's aspirations and what professional development we need to put in place.
I think that was the worst bit, wasn't it, the interview, because with us being new teachers, we hadn't interviewed for a job before or done any formal interviews. It was the first time, you know, that we'd been sort of questioned on our own and had to get through that. But it went better than we thought, didn't it? Yeah.
You're looking for that spark, which is saying that, you know, this person's going to be something special when we're in a classroom, but it's always a gamble. You draw these people into interview, and sometimes they deliver the goods, and you've got a difficult choice to make sometimes between excellent candidates. Other times, they're not quite what you're looking for, or they just don't deliver on the day.
Well done. Excellent.
Yay!
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Go on, tell them.
We were very happy, as you could imagine.
Yes, we were.
It was a very big relief.
It was,
find
yeah.
out.
And we were the last, weren't we, of the teaching staff. Everybody else had been done, and there was just us two waiting. It was the last week of term, so everything was winding down, ready for the summer, and we just had to get through that last hurdle. And it meant we had a brilliant summer.
It certainly did.
The departmental structure for the HLC is designed for 21st century learning. In the secondary phase, 5 faculties were created: pure and applied studies for maths and science, communications, creative and applied studies, humanities and engineering. The HLC is a specialist engineering college with an impressive engineering gallery, big enough to take a double-decker bus. Getting the right director of the faculty is a key appointment. The 4 shortlisted candidates, rather inevitably all male, are shown round during a 2-day selection process.
We have got to get the right person for this. The engineering specialism underpins the entire curriculum, and we've got to get somebody who's innovative and creative, but also, a really nice guy who, we can get on well with, who can really be part of our senior leadership team.
Okay, morning all. My name's Mr. Williams, as you can see from the board.
The 4 have to show their skills in the classroom under the scrutiny of the selection committee.
Cost is important, isn't it? Are you in the MFI bracket or are you in the David Beckham bracket?
Is this helping you to understand it a little bit more? Yeah? You're kind of getting the hang of it now?
I hope you can all see that. I want you to tell me what you see.
A grilling from a panel of 7 is next.
Interviews are strange things. They're kind of frightening, yet when you're reaching the end, you're kind of thinking, yeah, I'm doing okay, it's going all right.
I could work with him.
He came across as a really nice guy.
I felt it went well, and the kids apparently enjoyed it, so that's a good start.
I felt he was very comfortable with the kids.
I can see him fitting the chemistry of the group.
He's dynamic enough and he's got a track record of success.
It's an exciting opportunity and one that I hope I'll be a part of.
He had listened yesterday to all the things we talked about. At least 2 of the candidates seem to have not picked up a single thing.
What this candidate thought of the interview we'll never know, as he left in rather a hurry.
He's the only candidate that referred to the primary phase or cross-phase work at any other point.
And the special school.
And special school, yeah.
He'll be a steady pair of hands, I think, and inject some innovation as well.
Are you happy?
Yeah, can I offer him a job? Jeff! It's been a unanimous decision of the panel, but we would like to offer you the post of Director of Engineering at the Hadley Learning Community.
I don't want to. No, yeah.
Great. I'm absolutely delighted. I mean, I think we've got exactly what we were looking for.
He'll be good because he'll drive things forward, but he will exercise tact and diplomacy with people, which is so much a key feature of what the job's about at the moment.
Head of the primary phase, Erica Aston, leads the recruitment of her teaching team.
You've got 2 minutes on your whiteboard. I want every single one of these boxes filled in. Go.
Frankie Jones is recruited to be the upper primary team leader from the closing Hadley Junior School. She impressed at interview with her aptitude for cross-phase teaching, a key element of the HLC vision.
She's been working closely with us on the English Curriculum Development Group, and the role in that has been at the top end of primary going into Year 7. She used that knowledge and skill and understanding that she's developed to the maximum at her interview yesterday, and she will be a great person to be one of the first teachers to work cross-phase for us.
The thing that I'm looking forward to most is being able to go up to the next key stage and work with secondary, particularly because I work in Year 6 at the moment, so I hope to do a lot of work with transition from Year 6 into Year 7.
Those who get a teaching appointment at the HLC are set fair, but there's some collateral damage, as not all staff at a closing school such as Alton Park are going to make the cut.
It was made very clear to me that these were closures, and you had an opportunity here to create a new staff. But I knew as I went into the process that it was people's jobs, people's livelihoods, and I didn't make those decisions lightly.
John, go over there. Doesn't matter. Go back.
George Armstrong has taught PE at Alton Park for 16 years. He feels somewhat betrayed by a system which leads to a younger man getting a post which he'd hoped would be his.
No, not out. Keep your eyes on it. Watch the ball.
being a 50-year-old PE teacher who wants to employ somebody who's 50 when they can employ somebody who's 27. You go into a teaching career and you think you're in teaching for life unless you choose not to be. And I was choosing to teach PE until I was 60 and pack in then. I did not expect, never expected not to have a teaching job because the school was closing. God help anybody as it happened to them, because you put in place your mortgages and things like that thinking you've got a job for life, and then you haven't. And it's been like a kick in the teeth, really.
With staff recruited, they now have to deliver a curriculum designed to place the HLC at the forefront of modern education. The head of maths, Emma Knights, has been appointed a term early so she can work with students at Alton Park before they move. It's a challenging task as the school's maths results haven't been impressive.
The current GCSE results are in the low 20s. My previous school, the last set of results was 59%. I need to get results up, and I need to do that very, very quickly. I've got to have teachers that are passionate about what they do and are going to teach using a variety of different methods. It can't be a case that every lesson comes in and is the same. I know that the National Strategy has got the 3-part lesson, but that doesn't mean that every lesson has to be identical.
Aluminium is more reactive, so it pushes the iron out, and we actually make molten iron at somewhere around about 1003, 1006 degrees centigrade.
Science is another subject which is key to the success of the HLC. Alton Park's science results have been good under Jim Smith, and he wants to carry that forward. But he understands it's not just about shiny new laboratories.
Having the new facilities will inspire the children. I think a lot of staff, myself included, are worried that new technology will take over from good teaching and get in the way. In some ways, teaching counts, not the toys you use.
The leadership team at the HLC is under pressure to deliver better results than in the closing schools. A state-of-the-art building and a vaulting ambition mean that, like it or not, league table positions will be crucial.
I would like to see English, maths and science performing up in 40%, somewhere around there. 80 pass rate, which I think is attainable, but we will need really to be pushing Year 11 to achieve that. But over 4 years, in 4 years' time, I've put in the engineering specialist bit that I want to be up in 60%, 5 A to Cs, and I think that's realistic.
Last May's conference enabled the hand-picked staff to brainstorm and bond with the leadership team.
Put bigger waistlines because of all the restaurants.
We've talked about pulling staff together for a long time now, but today it's here and it's happening in front of us and it's so exciting.
Yeah, it's nice to chat to some different people again, meet some new people, especially the secondary ones, and it's nice to finally start getting something solid in place so everyone's a bit more comfortable about the whole thing.
I know very few of the staff at the moment, so it's great to meet them and share ideas with them and to find common goals.
So, lots for the leadership to mull over from the 120 staff recruited over the last 12 months. For Jill Etuff, they're the foundation on which the HLC is built.
Yeah, just seeing them work and talking to each other and the atmosphere and the vision they had. Yeah, it gives me a great feeling for the future.